Contenders, well, the Bengals have officially entered the chat. Joe Burrow for MVP? Oh yes, he's also entered the chat. Let's dive into the 8-4 Bengals who continue to roll following a huge win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and what a really month it has been for your Cincinnati Bengals. Short-handed, without Jamar Chase, without DJ Reader for a time, and you look up, and this Bengals team is making a push for the AFC North. They're making a push for one of the top seeds, if not the top seed in the AFC playoff race, and they beat what many believe, including myself, was the best team through 12 weeks in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's first talk about this team and their overall outlook, and then I'm going to get to Joe Burrow and his MVP chances. And really, when you talk about the outlook, you have to start with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is playing unbelievable. He's playing at such a high level right now, completing 80%, 80.6, I believe, to be exact, against of his passes against the Chiefs. And was just slicing and dicing the two high safety looks that I think he was 15 of 16. Mina Kimes had the stat on ESPN, 15 of 16 against the split safety looks that really slowed down this offense to start the year. This offense has evolved. It's leveled up. And it does start with Joe Burrow, but from Zach Taylor to offensive coordinator Brian Callahan and everyone in between, Samaje Perine, T. Higgins, these guys are playing at such a high level that I think this offense has another gear. And that, to me, is the most exciting part about this, about talking about this team, is because as well as they're playing, and they're playing well enough to go on the road and handle business against a Pittsburgh team that they should have, and then bounce back against a Titans team the following week. And by bounce back, I mean, well, recover from a physical game and play another physical game against a run-heavy team, against a team that really wants to pound the rock, and they go there and win. And then you come home and you play a team that is extremely explosive, that just moves the ball up and down the field. They pepper the intermediate part of the field with Travis Kelce all season long, and you really limit Travis Kelce throughout the game. You force him to fumble when you're Jermaine Pratt. Joe Burrow is just dialed in and outplays Patrick Mahomes, and you beat a team for the third time in a calendar year that, well, has never done that, has never lost like that, has never put out three performances in that way. And so the Bengals are absolutely Super Bowl contenders. Joe Burrow is a big reason why, but he is not the only reason. There are a ton of reasons. I think the coaching staff is better. This defense has found a way to overcome without having DJ Reader from week 3 all the way up to when he returned after the bye week. And then even after that, to lose Chidobe Awuzie and hold your own against this Chiefs passing attack, to hold Patrick Mahomes to under 60% completion percentage, which is the lowest of his season, I believe, without looking. And I checked it a few days ago, so I believe that's the case. It's just heck of an effort by this team. And I said going into it that if they win and beat the Chiefs, there's no one remaining on their schedule that they can't beat, whether it's Cleveland Sunday, whether it's the Bucs the following week, whether it's in New England, Bill Belichick and the Patriots, whether it's back home Monday Night Football against the Bills, or when you finish the season with the Baltimore Ravens. There is no one, as tough as this schedule is, that the Bengals can't beat remaining on this schedule. And so if I feel that way, you better believe the Bengals and people in that locker room, the players, the coaches, the front office, all these guys, they believe that. And that is the exciting part, is because when you believe, that is a very, very dangerous thing for opponents. And you've seen the Bengals' resiliency, and that's the other part of it, is they've had to overcome a lot this year with injuries. They've had to overcome, Joe Burrow's appendectomy, and La'el Collins and Alex Kappa not participating in camp. Kappa missed the early part of camp. Collins missed essentially all camp. None of these guys played in the preseason, and part of that was due to injury. And yet you look in this offensive line playing at a really high level right now. Joe Burrow complementing this offensive line. And so buckle up, Bengals fans, because it could be a wild, wild ride in a good way just 1 year after winning the AFC Championship, the Bengals, well, they could be, not only are they in that mix, but they could be the favorite when things are all said and done in a few weeks. They're trending in that right direction. They have to continue it, no doubt. But you win 4 straight, looking for your 5th straight win of the Zach Taylor era. It's a big game Sunday against the Browns. We'll have plenty of time to dive into that one. I also got to talk to you about Joe Burrow's MVP. Chances, odds, thoughts on it. First, without further ado, here's my setup. And I admit I set up Jamar Chase because I wanted to get a good answer. And, of course, I think Joe Burrow should be in the MVP race. But the way I asked it, Jamar couldn't tell what I thought. And it got a really good reaction. Here's my question to Jamar Chase on Sunday about him endorsing Joe Burrow for MVP or to at least be one of the front runners in the race for NFL MVP. And his response, well, it's chef's kiss.
You said Burrow, without hesitation, should be in the MVP conversation. Why?
The best quarterback in the league. What do you mean?
I didn't say it was a great...
That's a fact. Talk about. Does somebody have the stats of his last game, like last 4 games? I wasn't there. What was his completions? Oh, I'm sorry. If y'all could do that, I want to know that.
I can when I'm not taking your video.
That's cool. It's
but
cool.
I definitely can.
But that right there could talk for itself. His completions.
80.6 today, completion percentage today.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm saying. Doing his thing.
I told Jamar Chase I could run those numbers, what Burrow's numbers were without Chase for those 4 games. And, well, I did it. So hopefully Jamar watches Cincinnati Bengals talk. He completed 66.91% of his passes for 1,063 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. He was sacked 9 times at a quarterback rating of 99.9. Also ran for 48 yards and another touchdown. The Bengals obviously 3-1 over that span. That included the Joe Mixon 5-touchdown game, the Samaje Perine game where he scored 3 scores. So it included some games where this team, was leaning on their running backs and not necessarily pushing the ball down the field. And then obviously the gritty win in Nashville. But if you include Sunday's game against Kansas City, where again 25 of 31, 80.6% completions, now his completion percentage jumps up to 69.41, 1,349 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 picks, a 105 quarterback rating, 94 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So those numbers jump way up. Look, Joe Burrow is playing at a really, really high level, and MVP to me has always been most valuable. And I don't think there's any doubt that he's one of the most valuable players in the NFL. And when I say that, a lot of you are going to be like, well, yeah, that's what it means. But usually the MVP is given, it feels like, to the guy that posts the biggest numbers. And I don't know if Joe Burrow is going to lead the NFL in touchdown passes. He might. I don't know if he's going to lead the NFL in completion percentage or yards. But right now he's completing 69% of his passes, has 3,446 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, has just played at an extremely high level. And think about it, 8 picks, 4 of those came in week 1. His first game off that appendectomy clearly wasn't playing like his normal self. So Joe Burrow playing at an elite level right now. And if he can continue to play at this level and the Bengals continue to win games, he's going to be in the MVP conversation, and he might mess around and win the thing. That there's no doubt that he should be in that mix, in that hunt, because, again, most valuable. You don't think Burrow's valuable? Look around. Joe Burrow has impacted everything. Everything. Has impacted the Bengals, has impacted the fans, has impacted the city of Cincinnati, has impacted channels like this one, has impacted Locked On Bengals, has impacted allbengals.com. Insert someone that is around the team, that covers the team, that works for the team, that the security guards at the stadium. Guess what? Joe Burrow has impacted their life in some way. Maybe they need to be on full alert because more people are coming in and out of Paycor Stadium. You get the point. And so, yes, absolutely. You want to talk about value? Joe Burrow is one of the most valuable players in the NFL, and he was before Sunday, but he should certainly be in the MVP conversation. If you want to wager on that, if you want to wager on anything Bengals related, anything NFL related, well, you need to get to MyBookie because sports betting is intense enough, and you shouldn't need to sweat your payouts. That's why MyBookie has a no-strings bonus that lets you cash in and cash out quick. Use promo code Bengals Talk, Bengals Talk, BENGALSTALK Talk, on a deposit of $50 or more, and you can receive up to $200 in cash instantly to your MyBookie account. You can use this bonus. It's simple. You bet your deposit amount once, and boom, you can cash out. It's a no strings attached wager with MyBookie. All you have to do, again, is go to MyBookie, use promo code Bengals Talk, and boom, you get that bonus so you can focus on what's important. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie and promo code Bengals Talk. It's an exciting time. We'll be obviously at Paycor Stadium throughout this week covering Bengals, Browns, the lead up to it. You know what the narrative is going to be. It's going to be a lot about, Joe Burrow's 0-4 against the Browns. 2 of those games I throw out. I thought he was the best player on the field in 2 of them and led the Bengals, an inferior Bengals team, to really close, narrow defeats against the Browns as a rookie. And that didn't happen last year. Last year he threw the pick 6 early and played poorly. And then on Monday Night Football, I think the whole team played poorly. And redemption time, sure. Is it as big of a story as it's going to be made out to be? Probably not, but it is a big game for the Bengals because they need to win this to keep pace, not only with the Ravens in the division standings, but I'm thinking tiebreakers here. Yes, they have another game with the Ravens, but at 1-3 in the division, the Bengals have to find a way to get to 2-3 and then 3-3 to have a shot at winning that tiebreaker over the Ravens, even if they do beat the Ravens to end the season. So we're going to have it covered wall to wall. And don't forget, Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry. Guess who he talks about? Joe Burrow. Also plenty on the defense. Mitch Wilcox stepping up with Hayden Hurst down. So there's a lot coming up. Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry every Tuesday at 8 Eastern right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So it's going to do it for me. Make sure you get the MyBookie. Use promo code Bengals Talk. For Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.